tools that we use to make sure that our water content in our honey is below the 18-17% is something called the refractometer. This is a refractometer, and when you get the honey, you put a couple drops on the face right there that you can see, and then you close this little glass lid on it, make sure the air bubbles are out, let it sit for about 15 to 30 seconds, and then you look through this little eyepiece here and it will tell you the percentage of the water in here. So when you look through it like that, you got your Brix percent, your water, and it tells you how much water is in your honey and if you should harvest it or if you should just leave it for the bees. So I'll try to get you so you can see through this once I get some honey on it. I can't say that it'll work with the camera because it kind of blacks out when you do that. So we'll see what we can do. So let's go test some honey. So one of the first hives we're going to get into is hive number 4 here. Hive number 4 has 3 supers on above the deep and the medium boxes that I got for the brood. So we're going to check these, see what the content is, and go from there. There's a lot of activity on the hive, so the girls might get a little upset taking honey, which is common when you go and start taking honey from them, and we'll see how they respond. This is an inner cover that I have here that has air holes for them for this time of the year, which really helps them out a lot for when they go to keep the hive cool in these hot days. As you can see, it's an inner cover that has screen holes. And looking in here, and they look pretty good, but we'll see. Right, that one's pretty much capped, as you can see. So that's one we'll definitely take. And we'll be testing the water content in it. This next one is fully capped. And I'll show you that one. So you can see that this hive is just about done capping a lot of the honey here. So we'll be harvesting this, taking this box, because it's just about all like this. It's over 90% full, and the empty cells don't have anything in it. So there's not much else coming in. So we're going to take this entire box and we'll process this into honey. Since it's got a few open cells, if I can find one that's got honey in it. We'll put a few drops on the hydrometer. Yeah. Got to get just a little bit more. This way we can get an accurate reading. We'll close the lid. And we'll give it about 30 seconds to get all the air out of it. And the moisture content on this is right at 17%, so we can still harvest it. So on the frames we're going to take, we're going to gently brush the bees off it. And then we're going to place it in our little chamber here. cover it up so the bees don't go back into it. And we'll keep doing this process until we get the frames we need. Granted, they don't want to leave their honey because that's their food. And we'll continue this process till we get all the frames out of the super here that we can process. We ended up taking the shallow out of here and 4 frames out of the medium, but we put 4 frames of wax comb back in its replacement. And we'll leave these on and let them just have it for food until the fall flow gets here, when the goldenrod comes in, and hopefully that's plenty of food for these bees. So I'm curious to see how the deep's gonna look in this hive, because this hive has a lot of bees. Funny how they propolis everything that you give them for getting ventilation. And let's see what we got here in this box. This box looks completely full. Yeah. And we'll just, oh yeah. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. Let's see what this one looks like. Yep, there's another one. So far it's looking pretty good. This is all capped, where they're even expanding it. Oh, that's a heavy, heavy frame. Look at how they expanded that one. Holy smokes. Yeah. So this is a full box of honey. So we're just going to take the whole box, stack it off on the side, and look at this deep. So it looks like this deep will stay on here because the frames are only half done. Yeah. So we'll just leave this one on here. We won't harvest it because the frames aren't full, and this can be their food chamber. So here we are later in the afternoon, and we're getting ready to extract some honey from the frames that we pulled out today. So we're just taking off the capping. You can see it's a really pretty color honey. We take our fork and we break open them cells so they can get broke, and make sure every little bit of golden nectar comes out of here. I tested this earlier. That's why we had the broken cells. The water moisture content was 16 on one side and 15 on the other. But doesn't that look pretty?